Hey y'all, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just glad that you guys had decided to vibe with E. Yes, the one and only E. Hey y'all, hope y'all feeling amazing, doing amazing, and just being amazing overall. And if not, it's okay. It's alright, my friend, because bad times don't last forever, because after every storm there is a rainbow. And you're getting closer and closer every day to that rainbow, that pot of gold, that light at the end of the tunnel, whichever one you prefer, my friend. Okay? Slow and steady wins the race. Also, please take advantage of honoring them bad times, because them bad times have got you to the times that you have been manifesting and praying for. And with that being said, I welcome you guys to Vibing with E. Hey y'all, what's up? What's poppin'? If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for the ones that are not new to this but true to this, hey y'all, what's up? What's poppin'? Guys, we have made it to the last month of the year, December, which is so bittersweet because I felt like 2025 went by so fast. And I believe in the saying, you know, when you're on the move so much, everything's gonna go fast. And time is a terrible thing to waste, so please take advantage of everything that's going on around you, as well as spend as much time with the people you love, as well as spending time with yourself. Pour into your cup as much as possible, but also, you know, do what's best for you, but still pour into you. It is not being selfish. Okay? So yes, y'all, we're in the month of December, which is so crazy, and I don't know what else to say, because I honestly was not ready to enter the new year. I'm still a little bit feeling like I'm not ready due to some things that I feel like I wouldn't say I didn't accomplish, but I did not handle properly. But that's okay, because once we enter 2026, I will be able to know how to handle these things, as well as knowing how to control things, as well as how these things are going, if that makes sense. And if you feel the same way, my friend, trust me, you're not alone. Everything that happens, you never know who may be impacted the same way. Trust me, like, I never thought that I would make it this far to see these things that's going on now, such as with like the podcast. I never thought that I would see me getting a trademark. I always said, okay, the LLC, you know, that's important, you gotta have that, but a trademark, making it worldwide known and no one can take this from me regardless of how big or small it gets, this is something that's forever. And I want you to cherish everything in your life, regardless of how big or small it is. Cherish it and be thankful and be grateful for it, but also celebrate them big and small wins in your life. And also, you can celebrate it with the ones you love or by yourself, but do it in a way that you are giving into yourself. That self-appreciation, that self-compassion, self-empathy. Do everything for self, because like I said, when we are so used to giving to others, when we're like givers, we don't like to receive. We like to give as much as possible, and we'll receive later on in the back end with it, whatever comes our way, especially within ourselves. But as we enter 2026, my friend, I want you to be more in tune with yourself. I know it's hard sometimes, because I try to speak a lot on things impacting self, because we lose sight of ourselves when we are always into making sure this person is straight, that person is straight, these things are straight. But when do we ever sit back and say, damn, am I straight, am I here, like things of that nature. So in 2026, I hope that you guys put yourself first, and trust me, it's not being selfish. Taking control of what matters to you, pop out when it's necessary, and keep people wondering, keep them guessing. And that's the theme that we're going to continue with through next year, like I did when I started Vibing with E. You know, pop out, take control, and be selfish within yourself, because you have to pour into your cup before you can pour into others. You cannot pour into someone's cup and you sour. You don't want to pour sour energy, bad vibes in somebody else's cup. So you got to make sure that you are here and healed and everything of that nature. So yeah, as we enter December, we're on the 25th newsletter, and December vibes are all about rest, renewing, and realigning. And we have 5 Wednesdays in December, so this is going to be super dope as well. And as I said, we are coming to the end of 2025, so I'm glad that I did do December within rest, renew, and realigning, because this is where it's needed for us to take control of our well-being, mental health, spiritually. All those things need to be taken control. Going back to when I say, you know, taking control, popping out, being selfish, but also doing things that's necessary for you. This is all about you impacting self. Like all year, you know, you handled everything and things of that nature, as well as holiday time. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a wonderful break if you did have a break. And, you know, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Boxing Day, and New Year's, and Chinese New Year's, and all those things are coming up. So this is where we also need to, like, relax, give ourselves some rewinding. Even though there's a lot going on within the holiday season, we still need to impact with self, because if we're around a lot of people and we're not in the right headspace, that's us pouring negative energy out to them. That can probably have them second guessing, looking at us like, what's wrong with him, what's wrong with them, what's wrong with him. Like, we don't want that. We want to make sure that even if we don't feel like we're up to it, we still gotta come. Like, it's hard to say, like, being in those scenarios and them situations in them rooms where we're uncomfortable, but we have to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. And it takes a lot, especially within us preparing for the new year. Like, for me, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with preparing for the new year to come, because it's so much I have going on, and it's so much that I feel like I haven't really had enough time to do within self. But I made a promise and a vow to myself that going into next year, I have to do for me. Even though I have all these things going on in the world, in my world and things like that, I have to pour into me, because I'm the only one that can control all this. Running a business is not easy no more, being a one-man army unsung. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, like, you know, I'm preparing for putting people in, doing extra things, as well as getting a degree, as well as work with children, and trying to step into things that I've been wanting to do for the past couple of months, and trying to see where it can go. And trust me, my friend, like I tell y'all, it's worth living if you just put out the energy that's needed. If you put in the work, the effort, the time, trust me, my friend, it's all worth it. You just have to believe in yourself, and you have to have people around you that is very trustworthy. That's another thing that I'm really big on. Trust is a big thing. Like, you cannot trust a lot of people, and you cannot put your trust in a lot of things with people. So y'all, I hope 2025 taught you a lot, because it taught me a lot within, like, trust wise, as well as even with myself. I couldn't even trust myself in certain situations and in certain rooms, and I didn't know how to handle these things. And you know, I don't do no bashing over here. I don't do no bashing, but I did learn a lot of things from people and things, but mainly from myself. I learned certain things are not meant to be blown in proportion. And some things in some rooms and some people are not meant for you. I'm not their cup of tea, and vice versa, my friend. You may not be their cup of tea, and that's okay. Long as you stepped out there to see what's going on, see what the hype is, see what the vibe is, and did a vibe check, the temp check, and it wasn't for you, then that's okay, because that goes to show these people are not for you, you're not for them, or this environment alone is just not for you. But you did what had to be done. You took that risk, and you tried it, and you see what was for you and what's not for you, and that's fine. And that's where December comes into play, with the theme of us resting, renewing, and realigning. So we're stepping into the final month of the year, and our December theme again is rest, realigning, rest, renew, and realigning. A season of closing chapters with peace and stepping into the new with clarity. December is where reflection meets release, where we slow down just enough to make room for what's next. Excuse me, guys. And where we choose growth over guilt once again, and alignment over pressure. This is the month to breathe deeper, let go lighter, and trust that better is on its way. So December is all about, you know, just clarity, growth, but also us being able to rest, renew, and realign with what everything is going on in our life and how things are going, because it's a lot. It's a lot that goes on. And before we get any deeper, y'all, I just want to say thank you all so much for even being able to take the time out of y'all busy day, as always, to listen to me, watch me, whichever way you prefer. If you're new here, I thank you so much for even taking the time to want to know who I am. I say the number, shout out to all the places, shout out to all the places, to all the cities that has been listening to me. Like, I really, really, really do appreciate it. I love it. I love y'all so very much. Even though, you know, I don't know, y'all, I still have love for y'all, because y'all take the time out of y'all busy day to listen or watch me. Even if y'all don't listen right away when it drops, y'all still take the chance and the time out of y'all busy day just to listen and see who the heck is vibing with E, and what is her vibe, like, what's her check what's her temp and all that, as well as too within the Vibing Out with guest appearances. I appreciate all the guests that has been on there consistently coming back, as well as the new guests who took the chance to even just vibe out with me, but also taking the risk of from them being uncomfortable to being comfortable to telling their story and sharing it to the world on whatever topic it is impacting education and wellness. I really appreciate it a lot. Our goal is still to reach 30 appearances, and I got a little surprise. I'm just saying anyway. As of today, we have 27 guest appearances, so we have, what, 3 more to go. Hopefully, we can make it by Wednesday, December 31st, 2025. And if not, it's okay. It's all right, because Vibing Out with Guests turns 1 year old next year on Valentine's Day, Saturday, February 14, 2026. And if we don't hit 30 by the end of the new year, hopefully we hit 30 before it turns 1 year old. And if we hit it even before it turns 1 year old, I'm going to bump it up to 35. Shoot, maybe even bump it up to 40 guest appearances. This is how hungry I am. And I want y'all to use me as a testimony for y'all to keep going. Whether, you know, we have our good days, we have our bad days. I'm going to tell y'all, sometimes it be so hard for me to get in the groove of things. It's the vibe is not there. And I feel like I'm uncomfortable. Now I got to get comfortable. Even sometimes within guest appearances, y'all, it be hard for me sometimes because I'm like, okay, I want to make sure my guest gets the top-notch service, and if they don't get it, it's like, okay, I gotta dress up, make it real, tweak it up and everything. But so far, all my guests have said that they're comfortable, they're coming back, or they came back. I thank you for everything and things of that nature and so on. But I really do appreciate y'all so very much for taking the time out of y'all busy days to do that, because y'all didn't have to. And now we have a new type of, how do I want to put this, new type of service for Vibing Out with Guests. Not only do we do one-on-ones in the 2 groups, but we also do up to 3 people per session. So now I'm about to start doing groups up to 3, and hopefully it can expand to enough people, so bigger rooms like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 10 people, who knows. But nevertheless, day by day, y'all, please use me as a testimony to see that don't give up, keep going. Even when you have so much things on your plate, if you're really passionate and you finally understood your passion, what the purpose of it is, keep going, and don't let nothing or nobody stop you, regardless of excuse me, how bad these things might have been or how things got ugly and stuff. Keep going, because no one knows how hard it is to be you, and no one knows how hard it was for you to get where you are at your life right now. So keep going. I'm proud of you. You got this. Bad times don't last forever, but I want you to cherish those times, to look back to see like those times really humbled you, as well as prepared you for what's to come, as well as the blessings that has happened. If you didn't get any good blessings, still take that as a blessing of, like, you know, I'm living and learning, because that bad blessings is going to turn to a good blessing, and I'm going to keep on moving and keep on going, because one monkey don't stop this show, okay? You got to keep going, and I see what you can do, okay? So with the back to that, this week's challenge, I want you to choose one thing you will release before the new year ends, because we're all about resting, renewing, and realigning. We gotta kick out the old and enter some new things, slowly but surely. So it could be a fear you have carried, a habit that drained you, a relationship that no longer aligns, a thought pattern that keeps you stuck, and responsibilities you have outgrown. Please write it down or say it out loud, whatever way, whichever one you pick, or maybe do all of them. Write them down, or just say them out loud. Acknowledge them and practice letting go gently, intentionally, and gracefully. Every release makes space for your next breakthrough. So just whatever it is from a fear that you carry, let it go, let it flow, let it do what it's going to do. A habit that drains you, let that go slowly but surely before you get into the new year. As well as a relationship that don't align with you no more. It's so hard. That one was a hard one for me, because I'm really big on friendships and relationships and things of that nature. But sometimes you have to learn who's for you and who's not for you. And it hurts, but we live and we learn. And from a distance, you know, you still got to love them. And, you know, if y'all can be cordial, we'll work things out, that's a blessing. But if not, you know, do what's necessary for you, and make sure y'all do end off on the right foot and not the wrong foot. A thoughtful pattern that keeps you stuck, like you have a pattern and your thought process is not good, we're gonna have to change it, my friend. Try to change it before the new year enters. And a responsibility you have outgrown. It's something that you was responsible for, but it's like you outgrown it now, you out of it, you can't do it no more. let it go and let it flow, my friend. Okay, so let's get into the nitty gritty. We are on the 25th vibing out with guest newsletters. Cheers to that. If you guys still want to be a part of it, please don't hesitate to hit my link tree and click on the icon box that says sign up for weekly newsletters. All you have to do is enter your email, and once I see it on my link tree, I will take your email and add it to my email thread. So every Wednesday, like today, every Wednesday before Vibing Out with Guests come out, it comes out at 3:30 Eastern. You guys will see what's going on. So everything that I'm reading, you guys will see it, of course, ahead of time, or you have seen it ahead of time. So we are on the very good part, the weekly vibe check, vibing with E, where meaningful conversations meet growth and real life connections. Today is Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025, Wednesday drop. Also, this drop today is very special to me because not only is it the first Wednesday of the month, but it's also my grandmother's birthday. So I wish she was here. God rest her soul. I know she's up there having a time of her life. And yeah, it is bittersweet, but I have learned that, we have to, for me, from my point of view within grieving, I don't want to say everyone, I have learned that, it's okay to cry, but also to honor them in their good times, even though it's okay to still have your moments, but I try my best to honor my loved ones that have passed onto their good times. And sometimes it is hard because it is holiday time and seasonal depression is a thing. And if you're dealing with any of these things, my friends, you got this. I'm here for you. If you need any help, any advice, any affirmations, it's going to get better slowly but surely, but it don't always get better right away. But you will notice how whatever skill you mastered to handle those things versus how it was in the beginning. So slow and steady again, but you will be able to master a skill for you on how to handle your emotions, as well as to honor the ones that you have lost. So we are on as today we have 132 episodes, which is super dope, and I cannot wait to see when we reach 200 episodes. 150 first, then we hit 200 episodes. I feel like we'll probably hit 200 episodes before Vibing Out with Guests turns 3 years old, and if so, that'll be super dope, because that's exciting. That's a big thing, I never thought that I would reach that far, because at first in the beginning, y'all, I'm gonna tell you a little mini story. I wanted to do seasons, break it down in seasons, but I was like, I feel like we already on a season 1, I guess, keep it going, because I was gonna actually turn the Vibing Out with Guests, their series, but turn them into a season. I'm still debating if I probably turn them into seasons, but they'll be like season 2. But I feel like the series right now, they're bonus series, because that's a bonus. I feel like that's a bonus thing to do. That's bonus, giving you extra credit, extra something. So I think I'm going to keep Vibing Out with Guests as bonus series, because that's an extra series. And I love that, it's really creative and fun. But yeah, so we have 132 episodes, and today's vibe of the day is letting go gracefully, releasing what no longer serves you. Going back to our theme of the month, which is rest, renewing, and realigning. This is the start of the peak of understanding what that theme is, what the theme is of this month, and understanding why it's important. So we are going to let go gracefully, releasing things that no longer serves us. As we enter the new year, we got to let a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of things, and all whatever you want to let go be released, so it doesn't affect us no more, because it no longer serves us. It no longer serves a purpose. So this week invites you to release the weight you were never meant to carry into the new season. We're diving deep into the art of letting go, going back to the episodes I did about letting go, and not through force, but through grace. Letting go doesn't always mean losing. Often it means choosing yourself, your peace, and your growth. In this episode, we explore how to separate who you were from who you're becoming, and how to honor the lessons without holding on what hurts. December is the month of release, and this conversation will help you step into the new year with intentions and clarity. In this episode, we will cover why letting go is essential for emotional health and future growth, how to identify what no longer serves your purpose or your peace, gentle ways to release people, habits, or patterns you outgrown, how to navigate guilt, fear, or nonchalant, non-negotiable moments during moments of change, how to let go helps you realign with your highest, healthiest self. And that's the last part. So this conversation is a reminder that letting go is not losing, it's choosing yourself. You deserve room to grow, breathe, and begin again. So this is your time for you to breathe. Let out all things that don't serve your purpose no more, regardless of who it is, what it is. This is time for you to just let things flow that does not serve you anymore. So guys, yes, you guys are all tuned in for this episode that will help you start December with clarity and peace. Okay, so next, the nitty gritty. Vibing out with guests. We have reached 27 guest appearances. This Friday, December 5th, 2020. This Friday, December 5th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We are dropping our 27th guest appearance this Friday. So to start out the month of December, we also got a vibe for you. And I know we probably have not had a guest appearance, I think, within 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get as much content in for y'all on that. And that's why I feel like I lose sometimes my creativity, because it's like, when you don't have a lot of guest appearances and things like that, it's hard for you to get really creative with them. But, we still raw and uncut with it. We still going to make it do what it do regardless. And like I said, again, I appreciate all the guests that took the time out of their day to even do this, because they didn't have to. And I'm glad that they were able to get comfortable, even though it was uncomfortable for them. Like, it was nerve-wracking, but now it's like, I'm comfortable. Like, I can do this. So I appreciate y'all so much. And our 27th guest for the Vibing Out with guest appearance is a guy that I really am intrigued on by his work ethic, his art, and him just as a whole. Like, he's super dope, super amazing, and I cannot wait for you guys to see his work. So let me give y'all his bio, and then we're going to jump into it. So Vibing Out with guests is the reminder that every story, every journey, and every voice brings a lesson. But a lesson worth sharing. Our 27th guest, Sky, brings a creative and powerful perspective rooting in experiences, art, and community. Sky opens up about his photography journey and how he begun, what inspired him, and how capturing moments became a form of storytelling, healing, and purpose. His lens reflects not just images, but emotional culture and the heartbeat of the city. And I'm talking about the city, I'm talking about Baltimore. Maybe a little professional. Baltimore. So in this domestic conversation, we dived into the intersecting of art, perspective, and education, and how creativity shapes the world around us in a quiet but powerful way. Topics that we have covered, such as how Sky's photography journey has begun and what inspired his artist's vision, the meaning and perspective behind capturing real life moments in the city, the connections between education, art, and youth storytelling, how photography serves as both expression and empowerment, and what it means to use your gift to uplift culture and community. Like I said, y'all, his work is phenomenal. He's dope. Please follow him on Instagram when you get a chance, because his Instagram will be in the bios and stuff. I think it's Sky the Fly Film. I have to double check, y'all. I don't want to mess up, but it will be when the episode drop. You guys will see his Instagram name in the bio for him as well. So tune in for a thoughtful, creative, and inspiring conversation that blends passion, purpose, and provision. Okay? And the quote of this week, which is also the quote of the day, is sometimes letting go is an act of fear, greater power than holding. Okay? And yes, y'all, please stay connected with following the podcast page on Instagram at vibing.with.e. Please use the hashtag vibing.with.e to share your reflection for this week if you're willing, or just to share whatever you want to share impacting Vibing with E. And until the next vibe from your host, E, who now has an LLC and is the trademark owner of Vibing with E. Oh, that was a lot to say, but you know, we here, we love it, and I'm so honored to do this. And if it wasn't for you guys, I don't know where I would be. So I appreciate you guys so very much for doing the things that you have done. And please keep on giving and spreading good love, as well as I'm going to spread it to you guys, because you guys deserve everything that is being brought to you by Vibing with E. Okay, so guys, let's get this party started. And before we get the party started, y'all, I be turn my fan on because I'm getting into the vibe, and I don't want the camera to mess up. And thank God that my engineer had told me to invest in a fan for the camera, because if not, it been so many times that I would have to cut. And if you were here during the times that I just got my Sony camera, things were going good, it was going fire, but it overheats. So I do have two fans. This fan I have, this is the first fan I had, and you may hear it in the background. The other one is charging because I used it when I had the guest appearance and I did not charge it up. So you know, things happen, you know. E is trying to finish out her first grass semester out strong, because it really had your girl down. But you know what, it was a challenge that I was preparing for and I was ready for, and I'm know for a fact I'm gonna ace it. So yeah, things happen, but I still have to put y'all into play. Okay, so now we're gonna jump into the nitty gritty, but as always, I want you guys to sit back, relax, enjoy hearing my voice or watching me, whether you want to go or you want to move. I want you to sit back, relax, enjoy hearing or watching me. Turn me up on your PCs, your phones, tablets, what I said, TV, speakers, whatever way you like to listen to me, because every vibe of the day is something special, as well as the wellness lessons, and as well as vibing out with guest appearances. And shout out to all the people that listen to me on the PCs, y'all. The numbers on that is like sky high. Even the phones, like, I appreciate it. Like, I can see if you listen to me on the Apple Podcast, the Amazon, iHeart, the RRS, that's my website one for the podcast. I appreciate it. I love it so much. I thank you so very much. But yes, please turn me up, because as always, every vibe of the day is something special. And I see for YouTube as well, because a lot of people like the visual or they'll listen to the audio version. Nevertheless, I thank you all so very much. So let's get into it. I'm going to introduce the vibe of the day again, and I break down every vibe of the day with the definitions, the 5 W's, state the quote of the day / the week again, and I have a little thank you for tapping in insight to help you go along the way. So today's vibe of the day, we have 132 episodes, and today's vibe of the day is letting go gracefully, releasing what no longer serves you. Okay, so as we get into it, y'all, I want y'all to think for a moment as I sip on this big water. What no longer serves you? Like, what are you going to be releasing as 2026 come into play? What am I releasing? It could be small, it could be big, it could be whatever you desire, my friend. I don't care how big or small, how bad or good it is. Just think of what no longer serves you no more. Like, you're letting this go gracefully. You're letting it go with class, elegant, you know, with a lot of effort. You don't have to have a lot of effort in thinking of it, but it could be something that you just cannot, you're so sick of. It's like, what do you really need to get rid of? Like, what no longer serves you no more? What doesn't really speak to you no more? What is something that you just like, I'm not bringing this in the new year, I'm not bringing them, whatever it is. What is it that you want to no longer be served within your life? So I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes to think of that as I drink this water. And if you're new here, I try to have every episode like we're having a conversation. It's like I'm a professor type, but we're really having a conversation. And I just want you to think a lot, because at times I notice too, I call myself the podcaster and the life coach. Sometimes we really don't take the moment to think and reflect. And that's why I'm really big on, these episodes being a time to reflect. To have that moment to sit back and be like, damn, I never thought about this, E. Now you got me thinking really hard. You got me really investigating on what's going on in my life, what needs to change, what I don't need to do. Like, you know, I have you thinking, but I want you to get the sense of that we're having a conversation. Even though I'm not in your face, I'm not all up in your grill, I can't see what's going on, we're still having a conversation from a distance. That's how I fell in love with podcasters and podcasting and podcasts in general. The conversation, the podcasters I would listen to and still listen to, they give off a storytelling vibe, and I'm a person that loves a storytelling. I love a storyteller because I like to imagine what's going on while the person is narrating or telling a story, whatever, as well as with the music, they're singing, whatever. I want to imagine the scenery of it. That's my vision of a video, of, you know, what's going on in the flow of how the story or the lesson is being told. And that's how it was for me even in college, for me to understand what's going on. And to this day, with the situations that are going on, if you guys don't know, I'm going to school to be a school social worker. So the scenarios that take place, I listen, and I'm a visual learner, but I also have to be hands-on to understand what's going on. So yeah, just a little bit of insight of that. So yeah, I hope you guys are ready. If not, I'm gonna give y'all like 1, 2, 3. We're gonna jump into it, y'all, but you already know y'all are welcome to pause within any section of listening or watching me, to just reflect and then take a step back, be like, okay, hold up, let me listen first before you go deep into detail. So let's get into it. I'm gonna say it again. We are in the state right now of letting go gracefully, releasing what no longer serves you. What no longer serves you, my friend. So let's get into it. So the definition is what it truly means to let go gracefully. So what is the purpose of letting go gracefully? Like how, why, like why is this important, and why do we need to do this? Or why am I encouraging you to do this? Letting go gracefully means releasing people, habits, expectations, or mindsets that weigh you down. Not with anger, force, or shame, but with peace, acceptance, and self-respect. It's understanding that everything is not meant to stay forever, and that endings are often begins in disguise. Letting go gracefully is choosing growth over comfort, peace over pressure, and alignment over attachment. It is the emotional maturity to say, this chapter taught me something, but it doesn't define where I'm going. So going back to like how I break down things, I put my twist into it, look some research up, and then I reflect on after everything. So within what does it truly mean to let go gracefully, it means that all the old things that doesn't really serve your purpose no more, we have to learn how to let it flow. Things that used to wear us down, such as people, habits, expectations, or our mindset, we have to let those things go. We have to do what's best for us. We have to let go things that doesn't serve a purpose no more. More of the story I want to say overall, the short term, barriers that really affected us in our life or affected us impacting others, or something that we need to let go. Going back into by us letting these things go because they used to wear us down at one point in time of our life, we're doing it because it's necessary. We're doing it because we need peace. We need to have that acceptance, and we need the self-respect for ourselves, as well as self-clarity, as well as also the everything impacting self-aligning period come to the center of the front, because that also helps us to understand that everything and everyone is not meant to stay forever. At times, certain things in our life that we wish and hope and pray, this stays forever, sometimes it's not meant to stay forever, and we have to be able to accept these things. Like, okay, for me, for example, certain friends and situations and careers I was in, jobs I was in, I thought this was me. I'm like, okay, I'm set. This is forever. Like me, we set forever. Like we friends for life, like those type of things, like bad boys for life type stuff. Sometimes it doesn't always end that way. And it was so hard for me to let that go, because it was like, these situations once served us a purpose, but now it's like it doesn't serve us a purpose no more. So we have to be tall and firm and clear on how can we let go gracefully without having to feel like the guilt trip. being uncomfortable, but also feeling overall guilty of being able to let these things go. My friend, regardless of how much love you have for this person or these things, sometimes we have to let these things go gracefully because they no longer serve us no more. And one thing about me, I'm real big on, I do not want to lead no one on to think that we had any miscommunication, nothing. Sometimes you have to take a step back for what serves you. Going back to what I said, you know, sometimes we have to be selfish, sometimes we gotta take control, and sometimes we have to pop out when it's necessary for us, because that also helps us within the process of letting go gracefully of things that releasing what no longer serves us. We also have to add into play, okay, these things don't serve us no more, but now I have to do what serves for me. I have to put out things that is necessary for who I am and what is meant for me. Within going back to, like, everything is not meant forever, because, and that ending, you know, often begins, like, let me rephrase like this. Everything is not meant forever. And the endings, sometimes they do begin in scenarios where we didn't think this would happen. But letting go gracefully, we're choosing growth over comfortable, being comfort. Sometimes when we're comfortable in these stages, like, I cannot let go of this, I don't want to let go of it. But it's like this, I even tell my students this: do you want someone or something to walk all over you like you're nothing? Or do you want to be around people and be in a space where they're acknowledging you and treating you as someone, treating you as the human that you are? Sometimes we have to get out of those forms of being comfortable with just letting disrespect, letting all these bad things, let it hits our course. When at times we have to do what's best for us, even if, you know, me and this person are the best of friends, things like that. But sometimes you gotta let things go. You cannot let someone walk over top of you, and you cannot let these jobs, these careers, whatever, you cannot let people walk over top of you, because you know what's best for you. So within this process of letting go, the whole defining of what it is, we have to let go gracefully of things that no longer serves us with a purpose, but also with that purpose, we have to stand tall and firm behind that purpose. As well as, too, you know, we have to choose growth over comfort. We have to grow. We have to let these things go. Once we're comfortable in things, we don't grow as much. We're stagnant. I don't think I said that word in a minute, y'all. When we're stagnant in certain situations, like, we cannot get out of them. That's where the comfortability comes in. But once we understand now, like, I cannot stay in this stagnant box no more. I have to grow. I gotta fly. I gotta be the bird I am. I gotta fly out of here. That's where the growth over comfortability comes into play. That also impacts with peace over pressure. We want peace in everything that we desire. And where I'm at right now, I am very strong, and I stand 10 toes down today on the peace that I have, because it's with times where pressure really beated me up so bad that I didn't even know what peace was. I knew what it was, but I never lived in it until now. And that's another thing too, when we have to do within letting go gracefully with things that no longer serves us. We have to let go of the things and people that put us in pressure spaces and mindsets, so that we can replace that pressure feelings with peace and humanity and all those things that we need for ourselves. Because if we keep letting this cycle repeat, it's no way we're going to have the grace that we need to let it go. And we're going to keep letting this thing serve us when we're in the process of letting these things go. So it's kind of tricky. But when we learn and, you know, take a step back and going back to, like, what I said, the challenge, like for this week's challenge, do you want those things that don't longer serve you no more? Just sit back and think, like y'all thought earlier. See what I gave y'all time for the thought process. Think about what no longer serves you no more. What are you tired of doing? Like, is it guilt? Is it not guilt? Is it growth over comfortable? Is it peace over pressure? Or is alignment over attachment? Sometimes we do get attached to things and we don't really understand the alignment of why. And we don't really understand, like, what is the purpose of this? Sometimes we get attached to people that at times we feel like, okay, I'm attached to them because of the things that I'm wanting and I'm needing, and all the things he or she or they checking off my box. I love it. But then you realize I'm attached to them, but they're not attached to me. And I keep trying to see the good in them when they're literally showing me in my face their tail, like they don't care. And that's where attachment comes in. Instead of alignment, of lying to yourself and saying who's for me, what's not for me, and lying yourself in rooms and places that serves you. So we really have to understand that too. This chapter it teaches us something, but it doesn't define where you're going. Every chapter in your life shows you something, but it doesn't define where you're going. And I think of like every year, well, every month is a new chapter in your life. Even though the cover, let's say the title of the book is 2025, through January to December were chapters. You had 12 chapters. Basically, you hit the 12th chapter. This is the final chapter that people are waiting to see what's going on. Every chapter that you had, the months are the chapters, every month / chapter you gone through, it taught you something. Something or someone taught you something in the midst of it, that you was able to understand what's for you, but it did not define where you're going. It doesn't define where you're going, but it defines who you are in the process of where you're going. Like January might have showed you, you're in the beginning stages. Okay, you're learning, you still got a little bit of 2024 still into you. Okay, cool. By June, the 6th chapter, you in like the middle. We're like in the mid-semester, I want to say, mid-quarter, however you want to put it. You see a lot of changes. You step away from people, separate yourself from some things or scenarios. Cool. Now you're at the finish line. Now you're at a place in your life where you're like, I did it, or something need to change. But that's okay, because those chapters taught you something. Long as those months / some chapters taught you something, that's amazing. But it doesn't define where you're going. It didn't define that I'm not going to go this way. Okay, I messed up on this. That means I ain't going this way. No. Within those chapters and those months, it just showed you that you're going places. Regardless of how bad it may be, you're still going places, because those chapters might have been tough. They might have been tough. But this chapter taught me something, but it doesn't define where I'm going. It doesn't define where I'm going. It doesn't define how bad or good the situation is. It just taught me lessons, because we have to think of everything of a lesson, and it's learned. But it doesn't define where you're going in life. Oh, I messed up. Or like say, for instance, I failed an exam. That doesn't mean I'm going to flunk out of college. That doesn't where I'm going. No, it just goes to show that I need to do better. I need to do better. And I did better. And I'm still staying where I'm at today. Mistakes are going to happen. Everything is not perfect. And that didn't define where I was going. That didn't define me from, going back to having those moments and things in life. No. It taught me that I go through something. Every chapter of my life taught me something, but it doesn't define where I'm going. It didn't define that, I failed. Okay, now I'm going to be somewhere that I'm not supposed to be. No. It's defined to me that I'm still going to go where I want to go, but it's not going to define me in places that I don't need to go. If that makes sense, because now it probably was a little confusing. So, every chapter taught you something. Every chapter in your life taught you something, but it did not define where you think you were going to go due to what happened wrong, even though it was tough. No, it's helping you to find that you are going places, regardless of who see it or who doesn't. You're going places. It's an emotional maturity to say, this is emotional maturity. This is to say, this chapter taught me something, but it doesn't define where I'm going. It doesn't define where I'm going, but it also helps me to understand that I've learned in these chapters, and I'm going to go places regardless of who don't like it and why. So, who is impacted? Who benefits the most from practicing the art of letting go? Anyone who feels emotionally stuck, mentally overwhelmed, or spiritually drained benefits from letting go. People holding on to old friendships, painful memories, one-sided situations, or outdated versions of themselves experiencing the greater transformation. Is essentially powerful for those who struggle with guilt, fear of change, or the pressure to hold everything together. Letting go brings clarity, freedom, and the space to breathe again. Whoo! Everyone's impacted. Students, parents, teachers, professors, people, humans in this world, regardless of how old you are, from the babies all the way up to the elderly adults, we are all benefited from this. We are all in this together. We all benefit the most from practicing of letting go. When we have, going back to being emotionally stuck, when we're emotionally stuck, it's hard at times for us to let go. But when we sit down and think what no longer serves us, this is the things that come into play to help us understand, okay, something needs to go and I need to let this go now, because if I keep letting this happen, I'm going to be stuck in this emotional roller coaster. I have to do what's best for me, and what's best for me is letting this go day by day. Take it day by day. Don't do it right away. It's not going to happen overnight, but day by day. The tools that you have, try them. If you need resources, reach out for them. Especially when you have emotionally stuck. Take it one day at a time. Everything in general, take it one day at a time. Mentally overwhelmed. You got to take out something or someone to get out of that emotional state of mind as well. Or you're spiritually drained, benefits from letting go. I know we don't believe in letting things go and letting people go. But if in your heart, your soul, your mind, body, soul, spiritually, emotionally, wellness, financially, if all those nerves are coming into play and saying something got to go, you got to listen to it. Your intuition is not going to lie to you. Your intuition knows you because it's you. And it knows deeper within who you are. Listen to that voice in their head or whatever. Your third eye, whatever y'all want to call it. Listen to them. Listen to those signs and feel those signs, and don't take them signs for granted, because those signs are helping you as well as letting you know what's going on. So when it comes to emotionally stuck, the mentally overwhelming, or you're spiritually drained from letting benefits go, take that time to day by day to see what it is that you need to do and how to do it with the resources and the tools. Even from me, it's worth it and it's necessary, and you can do it one day and one step at a time, my friend. As well as to us people that holds on to old friendships and relationships. Like I said, it's hard. But if the other person or the group of friends are not acknowledging you or not really taking in consideration the way you handle things and your feelings and things of that nature, you gotta let them go. It's hard, especially when you have been friends for a good amount of time. Y'all trust each other, had so many conversations. Y'all know y'all had moments where y'all waited to exhale, even the man and the girl, the women and the man version, you know. But you got to put yourself first. If those things of those people do not align with you no more, and you see it, but you're still trying to fix it, sometimes you just have to be like, okay, they don't want nothing to do with me, so I guess I have to learn how to let them go for good. And it's hard, especially friendships and relationships that we thought were going to last forever, but they didn't because of certain things. And it's okay, but learn how to understand that things happen for a reason. And sometimes it wasn't you, it was them. Or sometimes things just wasn't where it was, and sometimes you don't even end on bad blood. It's just, you know, I had to step away, and I respectfully understand that. But if they still care for you or you care for them, it's okay to check up on them and see what's going on. Don't be ashamed to do that. Don't be ashamed. And if you feel that way, vice versa, if anyone out there is going through this or experienced this, you know, I'm real big on saying too, if you think about them, check on them, even if you guys are not best of friends or in a relationship, committed relationship no more. If you feel that way, get a sense of checking on them, because you don't want things to end so bad. I'm real big on, I don't like things ending bad and ugly, because it's like, okay, now I will never forget you. I will forget, but I ain't gonna forgive you, you know. As well as to painful memories scenarios, you know. I'm going to say this, with the painful memories and scenarios, please get the help that you need. Please get help. Please get the help, because those painful memories will cause you to do things that will hurt you, and it will not have a good impact on you as well as around others. And I'm really big on getting the help that's needed. Go talk to people that's going to help you within these painful moments that you're going through, because in a sense of when you're entering a new chapter in your life, you want to make sure that you're on a clean slate of you're feeling comfortable. You're able to enter these challenges and things in your life with comfort and not feeling painful and not having to reminisce on these things, as well as the one-sided situations, them situations that just always was one-sided and you never came to a conclusion on how to come together within the two side situations or whatever. Let them go and let them people go right now. Or let those things that no longer serve you, that was one-sided, go. As well as outdated versions of themselves experiencing the greater transition. If you have been around people, or you yourself is feeling like the outdated version of you need to let go so you can let this new version of you come in, or be able to let that new version of them come in, give them a chance, as well as overall give yourself the chance to do that, because you know what's best for you, and you know how this can impact with you, because this is the benefit of practicing, of letting go, letting new things in. But in order for new things in, you got to let the old out day by day, because letting go brings clarity, freedom, and space for you to breathe again. So all those things that you struggled with, guilt, fear, change, or pressure to hold yourself together, my friend, letting go will help you bring clarity, freedom, and space to breathe again within the space that's needed for you. Next, what is the benefit? What are the key benefits of releasing what no longer serves you? Letting go brings emotional peace, mental clarity, and renewing energy. It helps you stop replaying as well as relying on old situations, and start focusing on what's ahead. What you release emotionally clutters you, creating space for healthier relationships, new opportunities, and deeper self-awareness. It also builds self-worth and wealth, money if we talk about money, because choosing to let go is choosing yourself. And when you choose yourself, confidence grows. Within this case, what is the benefit? Like, what are the key benefits of releasing what no longer serves you? It all impacts with you. When you choose yourself, confidence grows, self-worth builds. When you're able to let go of things that no longer serve you, you're focusing on what is needed for you. When you're letting go, you bring yourself into a place of being able to have that emotional peace. If you didn't have peace then, now you have it now, by you being able to let go of things that no longer serve you mentally, emotionally, your wellness, financially, spiritually. This is where the emotional peace comes into play. You know what you can take, what you cannot take, and your peace comes into play with being able to handle things that serves you, and not being in the space of keep going back and forth with things that no longer serve you. Because when you're able to let go of these things, you're able to find that emotional peace that you have been manifesting and praying for. That also impacts with the mental clarity. When we're not mentally there, we have no clarity. But when we're able to let go of things that drained us and had us questioning and so many things of that nature, when we're able to let all those bad habits and things go, this is where the mental clarity comes into play. This is where we have the clarity that we have been manifesting and praying for too. We have the, how I want to say this, we have the mindset that we have been wanting. We have the mindset that we've needed for us to get clarity on everything around us as well as within ourselves. That also impacts with renewing energy. Having new energy is like new, clean, smell, refreshing energy for ourselves, as well as being able to deal with things that's going on. So it can help us from stop replaying these old situations that happened and start focusing on what's ahead. Stop looking back in the past, stop worrying about what happened in the past, and stop worrying about things we can't control. We have to live in the moments of being able to be present, as well as prepare for what the future has to hold. Because when we release these emotional clutters, we create space for healthier relationships. All the old friendships and relationships and things that we had, now that we're at emotional peace, we are mentally clear, we have mental clarity, and we have renewing energy, we're opening ourselves to new things that can help us as well, such as healthier relationships, the new opportunities, as well as deeper self-awareness. We're digging deep into our self-awareness, because that also helps us with, self-awareness will help us build within our self-worth, will help us understand more with what we're worthy of and who's worthy to be in our life, and why we're doing this and why we're choosing ourselves. And that goes into play going back to, and when you choose yourself, confidence grow. When we put ourselves first, we're gaining so much confidence that we never thought we had. And now we're taking the time to enjoy it. But also don't take it for granted. So when should you let go? When it's the right time to release something or someone. I feel like the right time is when it becomes to a point where you cannot take it no more. When it gets heavy, when it no longer serves you, when you sit back and think, is this even worth it? Is this person worth it anymore? But is these things even worth my sanity, my peace, my happiness, my mental health, my emotional, physical, all those things? When you feel that heavy load and burden that comes onto you, that's when you should let these things go. Release these things that no longer serves us with grace. The right time is when the weight becomes heavier than the lesson. Let go when you don't feel aligned anymore. You are forcing what should not be forced. You have outgrown situations or emotions or mentally. Your peace is being disrupted more than protected, and holding on feels like self-betrayal. Letting go becomes necessary the moment you realize you're shrinking to stay connected to something that no longer matters or is meant for you. With that being said, we should let go when we know something or someone is not for us no more. When we know that something or someone is not fitting the needs and the interests that we have or we used to have. Especially within your peace is being disrupted more than protected. Peace is something that everyone deserves and it must have. When you have people or things that are disrupting your peace, okay, sometimes this is how it goes. Fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. We can't keep giving these chances no more. Especially when we love someone or we care so much about this thing. It's like, okay, I'm going to disrupt whatever I have going on to make sure that this person or this thing is still being satisfied because I care so much about it. But when we see the signs, it's like red flags. Sometimes we want to change them red flags into green flags, and at times it's not possible. Sometimes we have to really pay close attention to what serves us and what doesn't serve us. And in this situation, when should we let things go? We should let them go when it's so heavy. We should let them go when they no longer serve us, especially impacting the peace part. Peace is disrupted more than protected. One thing about me, I'm real big on peace. I used to let things be. I used to let things and people disrupt my peace because as a person that I was, people pleasing people. But then I had to think, are they people pleasing me? Are they taking the time out of their day, stopping what they're doing to do these things for me? No. So I had to do what's best for me, and I had to take a step back, and I had to put myself out there. I had to take control. I had to pop out when I wanted to, but I also had to be selfish. I had to be mindful of who served me and what no longer serves me no more, because my peace matters. And it took me a good long time for me to get to this place that I'm at. So I don't want nobody to disrupt this peace that I have now. This is something that I care for. I'm not going to let someone disrupt this. As well as holding on feels like self-betrayed. As me holding on or you holding on to things that no longer serve you, it's self-betrayed. Like you're self-sabotaging yourself. You're just keeping these things or these open wounds open, and the other person or the situation that happened, they don't give a flying freak about it. But we're the ones that feel a certain way and we're holding on to it. And now we have to let it go because it's self-betrayal. We're betraying ourselves so much harder than the person or the situation have done to us, that we don't feel alignment no more. It's like we don't even feel a purpose no more. We don't even feel the alignment, the riffle, the gab of us even being something. We don't even feel it anymore. As well as too, we're forcing what shouldn't be forced. As well as like forcing friendships and relationships, or forcing a person or something to like us. That's one thing I will not do. I'm not forcing nothing or anyone on me. And I'm big on that within friendships and talking to people. I'm not going to force you into doing something you don't want to do, and you're not going to force me into doing something that I don't want to do. If we are coming to a common ground that we don't see eye to eye, or things are not worth it, the things of that nature, we have to let it go. We have to come to a certain agreement or something for us to respect each other's boundaries. And that it comes with, being able to respect the person of who they are. Boundaries are a big thing. You can't just run over top of somebody, things of that nature. You have to respect their boundaries of who they are, and they have to respect you. And if they don't, you gotta let them go gracefully and let it be where it's at. Because when you start to outgrow these situations with your emotions or mentally, that's where it's like, with these situations not outgrown, when you have outgrown situation emotionally and mentally, you need to let it go. Let go of everything that doesn't serve a purpose no more. And going back to, you don't feel aligned no more, let it go. You're forcing what shouldn't be forced, oh, let it go. You're forcing this thing or this person on you, let it go, because they're not forcing nothing for you, and you should not let that happen. You're outgrown situation emotionally. That's where it's like, oh, I'm done. Emotionally, mentally, I'm not doing this no more. It doesn't serve a purpose for me. As well as your peace is being disrupted more than it's protected. The moment someone, the first rare sign that you have for the boundaries for yourself, that you feel as though is being portrayed and is being taken advantage of and violated, let that person go. Let them things or that person go. The job, whatever. And I know we're right now, money is what we need, and we need to keep it going. But you're not going to let a person or a situation or this place disrupt your peace, because sometimes it disrupts so bad that when you go home to your safe place, it's not safe no more. So let go of people and things that terrorize, that you feel like terrorizes or disrupts your peace and disturbs it, that leads you to disrupting your own when you go home or wherever the case may be, that may rub off on the next person. You don't want to do that. As well as holding on feels like betrayal. We had to let go of things because we're not going to self-betray ourselves when people have betrayed us before, and then we're taking on the bait that they have done, and now it's like it's hard for us to let go. My friend, whatever he, she, they did, let it go. Because they're not worried. They walking on cloud nine. They outside having an amazing time, drinking cocktails on the beach, whatever, sitting at nice restaurants all dressed up, whatever it is. They're living their life, but we're living our life, but we're still dealing with that day by day. We're still taking on the betrayal and the bear that they did to us, because we don't know how to let it go. But this is why it's important to use your resources and listen to people that are willing to help you and educate you, because they love and care for you. As well as, I feel like it's not embarrassing to talk to someone that is specialized in these categories: depression, anxiety, grief, and things like that. Going to a therapist, social worker, counselor, whatever the case, psychiatrist, whatever the case may be, please get the help you deserve, my friend, because you know what's best for you. And you know, in the process of you being able to let go of things gracefully to what no longer serves you anymore, you have to do what's necessary for you as a person. If you have to go to the gym, whatever it is, do what's necessary for you to let go of things and people that no longer serve you no more. From the bad habits that you used to think were good habits and things like that, let it go, because it's going to keep affecting you, and you don't want that to happen. Let go of things that doesn't align with you no more, but also let go of things that you know for a fact you do not want to come into your new chapter. Your new chapter, your new book is 2026, and you have chapters in place. Like we said, those chapters of 2025, this book for 2025, these chapters taught me something. It taught you something, but it didn't define where you were going. It didn't define, okay, if I did something wrong, I'm going to that place. No, it didn't. It helped you understand that you're human. Chin up, chest out. It's a mistake, you did it, but it's a lesson learned. It must have been a bad moment, but the bad times don't last forever. Chin up, chest out, because you're going to go to where you want to go, regardless of how bad or good situations come. Nothing in life is easy. You have to go through these things, because if you go through the shortcut, you get, the easy way out is not worth it no more. It's like, okay, I got it, and it ain't worth nothing. But if you take your time, slow and steady, win a race, and deal with the bad times and deal with things that come into play and be grateful for it too, you'll understand why these things are happening. But in the process of you letting go gracefully, of releasing what no longer serves you, you understand what's meant for you. So when you enter this new chapter, this new book, when you publish this new book, create this new book called 2026, the chapters in this book are going to be the same thing. They're teaching you something. They're going to teach you something, and you learned it. They taught you something. But even though you may not have did some good things, that doesn't define you're not going to go to where you've been manifesting and praying for. So yeah. But where does this matters most? In which areas of life does letting go makes the biggest impact? Letting go matters most in relationships. Your self-image, your routines, your your expectations, and your emotional patterns. It transformates how you show up in your career, friendships, decisions, and future goals. It matters in spaces where you have been settling, tolerating, or repeating cycles, because releasing the room to realign with what truly nourish your well-being. So when it comes to where does it matter, every area in your life, basically what I've been saying, like relationships, it matters. You see what serves you and who serves you and what don't serve you. Even your self-image, like what do you see for yourself that serves you and what doesn't, as well as your routines. What's something in your routine that doesn't serve you no more that needs to be taken out? Your expectations, what is the expectation that you have for yourself that you should be seeing that you should not see in no one else that's not serving the purpose? So you have to see things in different lenses, but also putting yourself in the other person's shoes for the empathy and compassion. What do you expect for this person to do and say, and what do you expect in the long run, and vice versa for them? And your emotional patterns. Why is your emotional patterns one day you high, one day you low, or the whole week you were low, near high? And it's like, what do I have to take out that no longer serves me no more, because that is making my emotions not stable. It's making the patterns go everywhere, and that impacts with like how you're showing up for yourself in your career. If you're showing up in a way that's giving you don't care, something needs to change, or you need to get out that career. As well as the friendships, going back to friendships, if that friendship is not there no more, and if you try so much, it's okay. Sometimes it's not y'all season to be with each other. Sometimes we have to, still keep in touch, but we have to be brief about it, and then see if we can come back to a new season and see if it's worth it. If it's not, okay, we're gonna make sure that we end this off on a good note and not a bad foot, because we don't want bad blood, because we don't want that to happen. Or if the situation, the friendship, relationship didn't serve you a purpose at all, and it was just always it was just always things that just was so hurtful and stuff, let it go. Let them things go. Especially in family. It's hard too with family, but you have to let go of things that no longer serves you no more, as well as people, and it hurts, but you have to be careful. You got to protect yourself at all costs. You don't want to keep on trying to fix the train and the brakes and stuff is not occupied because you're not trying to buy some new ones or trying to find some new ones. Gotta let things go if it's not working. Even if you replace it with new ones and it's still acting like it's don't want to do it, then something needs to give. As well as your decisions. Your decisions is also impacted with what serves and what doesn't serve. What is something that you need to make sure is going to stick with you and what doesn't stick with you. As well as your future goals. What is the things that you know is going to serve you in your future goals and what's not going to serve you. The people, who you are, or like the things that's in your life now. You got to really think hard about that, because it matters in the spaces that you have been setting, tolerating, or repeating cycles. Because release creates the room to realign what truly nourishes your well-being. Once you take away all those things that doesn't matter to you, you are pouring into yourself with so much things that nourish you, that is like all those things that didn't nourish me, it killed me, but it made me stronger, because now look at me. First it's going to kill you, but it's going to make you stronger in the end. And that's impacted with letting things go respectfully. It's going to hurt. Yeah, it's going to hurt, but you got to think, what is the main reason for me of letting this go? For me to be stronger. And that's just that on that. And lastly, why is this important? Why is letting go essentially for growth, peace, and alignment? Well, because you cannot step into your new chapter holding on to everything from the last one. Letting go is essential because it breaks emotional cycles, allows you to heal, allows you healing to deepen, creating spaces for new beginnings, restoring inner peace, and strengthening your ability to trust yourself again. Holding on to fear keeps you stuck. Letting go of love sets you free. Graceful release is one of the most important forms of self-care and personal evaluation. We have to be able to let go of things that doesn't align with us, because it impacts with our growth, peace, and alignment. We have to do things that is worth it and not worth the wait no more. I'm tired of waiting. I gotta put this in action, because we're breaking down those cycles. We break emotional cycles when we let go of things. We allow ourselves to heal, to dipped in the deep end. We're creating spaces for new beginnings, new opportunities, and everything impacting ourselves, as well as we're restoring inner peace that we have needed in these times that we should have been paying attention to, as well as strengthening our ability to trust ourselves again and stop trusting others instead of not trusting what we have. Sometimes we look for validation within people, but do they look for validation within us? And that's why it is important for us to important to let go, essentially, for our growth, our peace and alignment, because it's all about ourselves. Sometimes we got to be selfish. Sometimes we got to pop out when it's necessary, and sometimes we have to take control of things that serves us, because if not, we're not leaving a mystery, and it's like everybody has control and everybody's puppet mastering us, and that's not going to happen, because when we holding on to fear, it keeps us stuck. We gotta let go of that. We cannot stay stagnant. We have to let it go and let it flow, because letting go of love, it sets us free. You know, the truth will set you free, but first it's going to piss you off. We gotta do things that is necessary for our heart, our mind, body, and soul before we could do it to please this next person, regardless of who they are and how much money they got. Okay? And it also, overall, it helps us to be able to trust ourselves. That's the biggest one, trusting ourselves. We have to trust and believe in ourselves before anyone else does. Because if we keep letting people do these things for us, we do not have no voice for ourselves. And you have a voice for yourself, and I do too. And I'm just helping you to find that voice. And you're helping me find mine too. Okay? So going back to the quote of the day, sometimes the hardest part isn't letting go, it's learning to move forward with grace. Sometimes the hardest part isn't letting go at times. Sometimes it may not be. It's learning to move forward with grace and being able to feel things that we haven't felt. We've been so down and depressed, but being able to feel like you're walking on sunshine, being able to feel that you have a breath of fresh air. It's hard to align, but once you align and you rest in it, you renew in it and realign in it, it's like, oh my gosh, I needed this all my life, because I've been through hell and high waters. So now I'm like, I needed this, and I'm glad I let all those things go that no longer serve me, because if I kept it going, I would not have seen this day. Okay? And I thank you all so very much for tapping in. I hope you guys learned at least a good amount of information on why it is important for you to let go gracefully versus releasing what no longer serves us. Because we have to remember, letting go doesn't mean losing. It means choosing peace over pressure, alignment over attachment, and growth over comfort. Releasing what no longer serves you so you can rise into everything that does. You deserve a life that feels light, alignment, and free. Let this be the season you make space for it. All those things you've been manifesting and praying for, my friend, make space for these things, because these things are going to happen. But you have to be able to let go of things that doesn't serve you a purpose. Letting go of things gracefully, letting go of things that no longer serve you. Once you do that, you are able to manifest, and you're able to manage all the good things that is coming into your life, the people, the opportunities, everything like that. But also, don't be afraid to rely on your reasons. Don't be afraid to rely on them, to have them help you navigate along the way. And even if you don't have a lot of reasons in your life, like the strong people in your life, find them. I know it's hard. With me, it's hard to trust again, but I have to trust, and I have to find my people, because you don't want to be in this isolated box. You don't want to be by yourself. Sometimes it's okay to be by yourself, but all the time it's going to have you isolated from the world, and it's going to have you feeling like you're stuck and you don't know what else to do, my friend. So please take the initiative to get the help you need. Talk to a specialist, whoever. Listen to me. Reach out. I'm here to help you as much as I can, because you can do it, and you're going to make it. And I want you to be able to take risks every day. Be able to, it's okay to be uncomfortable, but I want you to get comfortable. Even in situations that had you like, I do not want to do this, but now I'm like, shoot, I was uncomfortable, but now I'm comfortable with this. I run this. This is my stuff. Okay? And as always, I love you all so very much. Please be safe out here. Love on one another, but also pour into your cup. Make sure that you are able to pour into yourself before you can pour into others. Manifestation is real. Do what's necessary for you, and keep on moving and keep on going. And don't stop. Okay? Until next time. Bye.